We're going in depth. We sat down with local criminal defense attorney Grant Varner. We asked him why the judge made the decision and how this affects Murdaugh's murder trial moving forward.
And we want to go in depth here tonight on this decision from the judge in today's motion. So we bring in attorney Grant Varner. Thank you as always for joining us.
Pleasure to be here.
Yesterday you said that the judge would likely grant that motion to compel. The judge decided against that today. Surprising move for you.
I was surprised by that. Normally you'd see the judge say, all right, state, you've got 30 more days, get it to them. And in this case, Judge Newman basically said, hey, y'all are playing nice, work it out. In plain English, that's what happened today. I did not see that coming. A lot of my colleagues did not see that coming. Overall, today was, a boon.
Yeah.
Harpootlian got nothing they went in there seeking.
So what do you make of today's hearing with that decision?
I'm not entirely sure. So I'm confident Harpootlian will file another motion to compel shortly. Wouldn't surprise me to see one next week or the week after, right? We didn't get a lot of answers about what evidence does or does not exist. I think one answer we got was, the polygraph results from Curtis Eddie Smith were turned over on day one. And I think they alluded to Harpootlian may have overlooked it, but it's there, we already sent it. But the state, for the most part, from what I can gather, avoided a lot of the other issues that were brought up. Basically said, we will get it to you as we get it, we will send it to you. Well, if you've got a 3-week trial on the horizon, not that far out in the legal world, January 30th isn't that far away. They better get to turning over the evidence or you're going to leave Harpootlian with some great motions to exclude.
In addition to the judge's decision, another surprising aspect is that there was unidentified DNA under Maggie's fingernails found there. As far as what that means, what does that tell us about the evidence that we could be learning here in the coming weeks, especially once the trial starts in January?
It's something we talked about a few weeks back. I think we're going to start seeing glimpses into what the evidence is in this case. It's coming at us fast now. So we know there is gunshot residue, arguably on Murdaugh. We know now that there is unidentified DNA under her fingernails. Where did it come from? How did it get there? Who does it belong to? I anticipate we're going to see that DNA tested against Alex Murdaugh. I imagine we're going to see it tested possibly against Curtis Smith. Anybody else that they even remotely suspect. And Harpootlian makes a good point. Why did you go ahead and charge Alex Murdaugh with the murders when this DNA hasn't even been tested? That may be a great factor in who committed these heinous crimes. You haven't even looked at the DNA under her fingernails. But, who knows what the DNA is? It could be from Maggie herself. It could be from her son. It may be from days prior, but we won't know until they start testing it. So I was a little surprised it hadn't been tested yet. I would support Harpootlian on that. Why hadn't it been tested yet?
Any indication why not?
None that I'm aware of. But again, this entire case has been tight-lipped. We're just now starting to see what evidence is going to be in this case. And it is terribly interesting.
All right. Yes, it is. And we'll continue to watch it and follow every move. Grant Varner for us. Thank you.
Murdaugh's murder trial scheduled for January 23rd. It's expected to last a few weeks.